please don't drown, I don't want to be rescuing you right now. To intimidate me, one of them just got his phone out, started filming me, and 3 fire brigades all came in together. We have crashed into the bridge, maybe twice.
We? That's not what she says off camera.
Welcome to Cruising Alba.
We invite you to join us on our adventure living off-grid and travelling the UK canal network. I'm Miles.
And I'm Marina.
Hey guys, today we decided to film a Q&A video for you.
So question number 1 was, how long is your boat?
The boat is 62 feet long and almost 7 foot wide. We should have mentioned that in our Narrowboat tour video, but somehow we didn't.
Question number 2, where is Marina from?
I get that asked quite a lot.
And I thought she was from Australia for about 3 days when I first met her, and I didn't believe where she was actually from.
I'm Russian. I've been in the UK since 2005.
Whereabouts in Russia are you from?
I am from the Ural Mountains area, which is a natural border of Europe and Asia, in a town called Asha. What do you do as a job?
So I work in brand and packaging design for healthy food and drink.
I also work marketing. At the moment we are working from home, obviously, so that's why we can travel. What didn't we know before moving on board that we know now?
Oh, I was going to say like electricity, like how the electrics work, but I still don't know how that works.
You know a little bit more than you did a year ago.
Yeah, but we still don't really know anything, do we?
No. Before moving on board, we didn't know at all how the understanding of 12 volt in regards to 200 volt system, how the inverter works and how to use all of that and what appliances plug in and when and how to. We didn't know any of that, so now we do.
So when we bought the boat, we had a 3000 watt inverter put in, and that means basically we can use most things that we would on land through the plugs. The only thing that you don't use that often is your hairdryer.
Yeah, not often at all. I only use it in the middle of the winter when it's so cold I don't want to get out with wet hair. Probably use it like 3 times since I've moved aboard. The other thing that we didn't know and we had to learn is how to make fire in the wood burning stove, how to keep it for as long as possible, and also how to have that fire as economical as possible, because there are many ways of making fire that can cost you an arm and a leg.
And it's still a learning curve. It still costs us an arm and a leg.
We are better though, a lot better.
Yeah. What is the most difficult thing about going tiny?
Interesting question. We had to sit down and think about it because we've not really experienced that many issues in terms of small space. The only thing we could think of is that you've got to be really tidy. Even if you have a couple of things out of place, the whole room starts to look quite small. So you need to be on top of tidying up and cleaning all the time. Yeah, I guess we don't have that much stuff, so even when we moved in, we downsized a bit, but it wasn't like massive, drastic changes.
Yeah, when we moved in, we didn't have to throw much away, did we?
How did we save up for the boat?
Well, we had about a third for a deposit, and then we borrowed the rest from the bank over 5 years.
We've got a loan and a credit card. We paid for all of the boat repairs in the first month on the credit card, and then we've got a loan on the boat.
Now that loan is for 5 years, and it is a third of what we would have been spending on rent for a 1-bed flat in London. And obviously at the end of 5 years, we own the boat, which can be then used for a deposit for maybe another boat, or even a deposit for a house. So it seemed like a no-brainer. It wasn't dead money, it was actually a way of saving, if that makes sense, as well as cutting down what would have been our rent or accommodation by 2/3. How do we get post? So you only get bills in the post, so we don't miss those. You know, sometimes we use friends or get deliveries to work, but then yeah, we've got a friend's address and family as well.
Another question that we ask quite a lot is, what are the biggest challenges? There aren't that many, but we thought it would be good for us to put together a separate video with our pros and cons of living on the boat after our experience of living in it for a year. We're going to film that next.
I think in summary though, there are like a few challenges living on a boat, but nothing you can't overcome. You know? I think anyone who's thinking about getting a narrowboat and worrying about challenges, I think it's much easier and accessible than you think.
Yeah, I agree. We did have to learn a few things, but it's been quite easy, to be honest.
Have you been in tricky situations on the boat before where you felt scared?
I had a situation once when Miles went out in London and I stayed in the boat. It was exactly a year ago, or end of May last year, where we were moored next to an abandoned wide beam in Kensal Green. Two men walked past my boat. One of them got on that abandoned wide beam, and because I knew that that was an abandoned boat, I wanted to let them know that I'm not okay with that and I know that it's not their boat. So I just asked them, is this your boat? To intimidate me, one of them started filming, like just got his phone out, started filming me. I got inside, and anytime, like, I closed all the windows and closed the door, and anytime I would try and like look out the window, he would be there by the window filming me. So that went on for about an hour, and then he went on on that boat and taken massive like wooden beam with like nails and everything sticking out of it, and he threw it onto our stern. So it made a massive sound, it was really loud. I had to run out of the boat thinking, what is going on? So that's when I felt really unsafe and I had to call the police. I was on the phone to the police for 40 minutes because they couldn't figure out how to get on the canal, even though I was within maybe 100 meters off the bridge. All they need to do is just get onto that road and the bridge and come down. But it took them 40 minutes to figure it out. And 3 fire brigades and policemen. So they all came in, and they all came in together. This guy, because he was drunk, ended up falling into the canal. I'm panicking. I was like, please don't drown. I don't want to be rescuing you right now. He ended up okay and crawling into that boat and falling asleep. And that's where police and all this tons of people, like all of a sudden, they were, yeah, that was the only time when I felt unsafe. What about you?
Not unsafe. I think we've had some challenges with wind before as you're driving. It's quite difficult to manoeuvre sometimes a narrowboat on wind. They're really long. Imagine trying to push a pen across a desk, just pushing it by the end. You know, they're quite wiggly. So when the wind blows, you know, they can be quite tricky. We've had a few small bumps.
Yeah.
And have we crashed into any bridges?
We have crashed into the bridge maybe twice.
We?
So we went on this.
All 3?
2.
First one.
What's the first one? The first one is when I crashed the chimney. Oh, you crashed into the bridge on the way down to London.
Okay, so
we.
There's 4. I crashed into a bridge on the way down. Went through the bridge and it just sort of went really sharp to the right, and my friend was on the roof and I nearly killed her, so that was fine. Then yeah, you've crashed into a bridge.
Then you were in the tunnel and crashed it on the side.
Oh yeah, we were in the tunnel and got too close to one side, so we turned to get back into the middle, but as you turn on a narrowboat, they turn from the middle.
Mostly we.
Yeah, and we scraped the back end there.
And the gas chimney went all wonky.
Yeah, for the shower. Now let's talk about your 3.
Mine
this week.
2.
3?
What's 3? Alright, let's talk about crashes. Another question that we get asked really often, pretty much every day, is where our sofa is from. this one?
I found this. I thought it was really important that we didn't want to have a sofa where we were sat on this side of the room. It sort of closes the space off, but also ultimately you're always looking at a wall. Like, yeah, just makes the boat feel much more narrow. So I really wanted an L-shaped sofa. I was thinking about how we could build one, but then I found this one on Sofa Barn, and they're designed for narrowboats. So yeah, we can have it widthways, so we can make this the living room. It flips over the other way. It turns that into a dinette.
It does.
This is in comfort mode at the moment as we're in lockdown. So we've got like the foot cushion here, but actually you can move that all the way over to the left hand side and have an L-shaped sofa and more people sat in here, more space in the centre. But yeah, it's just really functional, full of storage in there and in here.
Everywhere. So the sofa is from Sofa Bed Barn.
It's not Sofa Barn.
Sofa Bed Barn.
It's not. It's from Sofa Barn. It's called Sofa Barn.
Sofa Bed Barn.
It's not Sofa Bed Barn.
Alright. I looked it up yesterday.
Sofa Barn.
It's sofabedbarn.co.uk. I will put the link down below.
Next question.
Who's the captain?
I'm the captain. I am the captain. And she didn't even fight for it.
Okay.
That's not what she says off camera. She tells me she's the captain, but I'm the captain.
I hope you guys found it useful. If you have any more questions, do put them down below so we can answer them in the upcoming episodes, or in upcoming, maybe we'll do more of these Q&As. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe.
Leave us a comment. We do read them all.
We read all the comments and respond to as many as we possibly can. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.